Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's the night before the game. You know what that means. It's time for your match preview ahead of Leeds United against Bournemouth at Elland Road tomorrow afternoon, and it's your standard Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff. We've not had one of them for a while, have we? So just before I get into it, as always, smash that like button. Please subscribe. Share all of your thoughts and opinions on tomorrow's game in the comment section down below. Then yeah, let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, in case you didn't know, Leeds United have signed a striker today. We've signed a French striker from RB Oh, wait, no, we haven't, have we? No, we haven't. Leeds United lost the appeal today, which means we're having to pay 18 million quid to RB Leipzig for Jean-Kevin Augustine. I'm going to repeat that. 18 million pounds for Jean-Kevin Augustine, a man who didn't even register a shot on target in his time at Leeds United, no goals, and only played a total of 50 minutes due to injury and just being a crap player. 18 million pounds. Let that sink in. It's an embarrassment. Single-handedly, I know I'm only 25 years of age, but I've seen people who are older than me say it today. Probably the worst bit of business the club has ever done. And it's all down to those guys at the top, isn't it? Why on earth did they put that clause in that contract back then? I do not know. But I'm not going to waste any more time ranting, waffling about that. Because what's the point? I think we all knew this day would come that we'd end up having to pay it. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? When Leeds were going through that horrid run of form, the 8 games, which could continue into a bad run of form if we lose this game. But in those 8 games, people were calling for Marsh's head. They couldn't afford to pay him out, and this is why. But anyway, let's get into the Bournemouth game now, shall we? Enough of that waffle. Huge game. Probably the biggest game of the season so far. Not in terms of opponent. No disrespect to Bournemouth. But in terms of what this could do for our season, what it could mean for Jesse Marsh's job, and just what it could do for Leeds United's league position going into the World Cup, which is literally a matter of days away now. Yeah, big game. Obviously, I touched upon it briefly in the press conference reaction last night. If you haven't already, please go and check that out. Be much appreciated. But Marsh said that they've prepared to play with either a back 4 or a back 5, which I found quite intriguing. Shows that he's thinking about other options, plan Bs, plan Cs, maybe plan Ds. And it would be good to see Leeds play with a bit of pragmatism. In-game management needs to be a lot better from Jesse Marsh, including his subs, tactics. If things aren't working, how can he change it mid-game? Things that he spots in the opposition that Leeds United can exploit. Again, change it mid-game. I hope that, is a bit better from Leeds. Apparently, he's worked on possession a little bit more this week, which his style of play doesn't usually revolve around possession, which, again, I'm interested to see how that pans out. If it's true. It could be mind games to put Bournemouth off. Who knows? And also, I think we've noticed this in recent weeks anyway. We've started to play with a little bit more width, which I think is an advantage for us. We've got some very good wingers. Obviously, team selection will affect all of our moods at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon when the team sheet comes out. I'll be honest, I'm not expecting many changes, if I'm honest, from the lineup that started against Liverpool. I'd actually be okay if it was the exact same lineup, to be honest, as long as we see maybe the same subs at around the similar times. Jack Harrison, as much as people are calling for him to be sidelined, I I'm kind of on that wavelength as well. I think he could do with a game maybe coming on as a sub. I don't think he's going to do that tomorrow. I think it's a big game. He'll want his experienced heads on the pitch, hopefully. If 2 o'clock comes and I see Diego Llorente or Junior Firpo in that back line, I will be seething. I will be absolutely raging. Keep it simple. Keep it the same. The back four that played against Liverpool did a really good job. And I think Liam Cooper is probably, in a way, the perfect man to handle Kiefer Moore for Bournemouth as well. So it's a no-brainer for me. Keep it the same. We played really well against Liverpool at Anfield, but it needs to be followed up now. A lot of people have been saying it all week. Various content creators. I've seen tweets. I've seen Instagram posts, etc. But it's true. We need to follow it up now. We can't. As much as Saturday night was amazing, and it was brilliant. You know, the fact that it was so unexpected, it proper brightened up my weekend. I had COVID over the weekend. It made me feel a little bit better for a bit, anyway. But as all good as that is, and then again, this is no disrespect to Bournemouth, but you can't beat Liverpool at Anfield and then get beat by Bournemouth at home. You just can't. Be criminal. If we don't get anything, I mean, a draw would still be pretty bad in my opinion, but of course you'd take it over getting beat. If we don't get anything from this game, we're back to square one. As the title suggests, we are back to square one if we lose this game. Marsh is back to being questioned. There's calls for him to be gone again. Genuinely, if we lose this game. Bournemouth did go on a bit of a good run under GaryO'Neil. Obviously, they started the season with Scott Parker. They got hammered 9-0 by Liverpool at Anfield, but, you know, it's all right. Winning at Anfield's not for everyone, is it? And then they got rid of Parker. They got GaryO'Neil in. He's gotten some good results. They've only won one game away from home this season. I believe that was against Nottingham Forest. Now, Bournemouth, look, as much as O'Neil has done a good job with them, their form of late is pretty bad. I think they've won one game out of the last 4. That they'll be on a bit of a low after the Spurs game. They were beating them 2-0 and the Spurs came back and beat them 3-2. That's not good for confidence. Leeds United had complete opposite. We went and beat Liverpool at Anfield. We should be... The confidence should be all over the pitch. But I am nervous for this game. Very, very nervous. I think it's going to be a bit of a cagey affair. I think Bournemouth are going to come to try and frustrate Leeds United like a lot of teams in and around us do at Elland Road. I won't be surprised if there's time wasting from their keeper, from throw-ins, corners, free kicks, anything. And I think they're going to know that Leeds United are going to try and press them. And I think they're just going to bypass that press. But then, as I said earlier, it's the pragmatism now. It's what happens when Marsh realises that maybe 2 or 3 times early on they've beaten our press and they've been in on goal or they've had a chance. How does he change it then? Maybe that's the reason why he could go with a back 5 or like 3 centre-backs and wing-backs, however you want to see it. Now, do I think we're capable of playing with 3 at the back? No. I don't think we've got the players to play with 3 centre-backs. I would just keep it as it was against Liverpool with a bit of pragmatism. Because let's be honest, Bournemouth are going to, like I just said, they're going to come to frustrate us. They're going to come to try and beat the press. We need to be picking and choosing our moments to press in this game, because they have got some decent players in their team that could definitely cause us a lot of headaches, i.e. Kiefer Moore, Tavernier, Lewis Cook, formerly of Leeds United. They've got some good players, Solanke as well, Philip Billing. You know, they have got players that can hurt us. Am I confident we'll get the win? I'm going to stick my neck out on the line and say, yeah, I do think we'll win the game. However, I want to caveat by saying it really wouldn't surprise me if we drew this game. I can't see us losing it, in all honesty. But we need to win it. We need to be winning this game. And it'd be really, really good for confidence and just moving forward if we could get even a 2 or 3-0 win. You know what I mean? Proper show dominance at Elland Road against a newly promoted team, which we failed to do against Fulham. But sorry. I know I keep repeating myself, but we've just beaten Liverpool at Anfield. So if we can't go and beat Bournemouth at Elland Road with our fans behind us, then I don't know where we go. Because you can't just keep relying on playing the top 6 or the top 8 to get wins and points or whatever. That was actually the good thing that Bielsa and Marsh kind of had in common last season, is that we beat teams in and around us. Or we at least picked up points against teams in and around us. It was the top 6, top 8 that we were getting battered by. This season it seems to be the other way around. Our last 2 wins in a row have been against Liverpool and Chelsea. I'll make it make sense. Leeds United Football Club, ladies and gentlemen. Leeds United Football Club. I know there's not been much analysis on where I think we can hurt them. We know where we can hurt them. We can easily press them to death. We can force them into mistakes. I do think our attacking 4 is better than theirs. I think we can definitely cause them issues if we show pragmatism and maybe a different approach in certain areas of the game. I think we'll start off in the usual Jesse Marsh way, where we're going to try and press them. But if they start beating the press and if they start having a bit of joy, then we need to be changing things mid-game, whether that's subs, whether that's tactical. He needs to show his coaching ability a little bit more, in my opinion. Yes, the win last week was amazing, but it needs to be followed up, because if we lose, we are back to square one. My prediction, I think you've always got to prepare for the opposition to score with it when it comes to our back line. I'll go 2-1. 2-1 Leeds United, and I would take that happily. Ideally, I'd want a clean sheet against Bournemouth, but they are scoring goals at the minute, Bournemouth, even though they're not getting results. So 2-1 Leeds United, and I'm going to go with Rodrigo again, and we'll go with Brendan Aronson. He's due a goal, isn't he? He's Brendan, so yeah. Brendan Aronson and Rodrigo with the goals, and a 2-1 Leeds United victory. That's what we hope anyway. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, please smash that like button. Please subscribe and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll see you tomorrow night for my match review after the game. Cheers.